Did you know that being kind can actually help you live longer? Science shows that regular acts of kindness lower stress, calm the body, and keep the heart healthy. Kindness isn't just a gift to others, it's a gift to ourselves. It's about small, everyday moments, a smile to a stranger, holding a door, or really listening. These tiny actions add up, like drops of rain filling a river. Kindness is contagious. It spreads naturally. It's wired into us, a tool for a longer, happier life that costs nothing. And it starts with just one small, simple smile. That's the surprising science of kindness. In Maple Creek lived Arthur, a retired librarian. He wasn't famous or wealthy, just a gentle man with a tidy garden and a love for stories. Over the years, the town had grown colder. People rushed by, eyes on their phones, neighbors barely nodding hello. There was no tragedy, just a slow, creeping loneliness. Arthur felt it too. One morning, sipping his tea, he wondered, what if he did one small, kind thing each day? So, this ordinary man began a simple experiment. He would try kindness, one day at a time. Sometimes the smallest ideas spark the biggest changes. Arthur's experiment began at the corner coffee shop. Sarah, the tired college student behind the counter, always managed a small forced smile. Arthur knew she worked 2 jobs to pay for school. This morning, when she handed him his coffee, he gave her a $10 bill. "This is for you, and for the next person's coffee," he said. Sarah was surprised. "Sir, this is too much." Arthur just smiled. "You work hard. Maybe this makes the morning a little easier." He left before she could protest. The man behind him, a construction worker, found his coffee already paid for. He smiled, left a big tip, and later bought donuts for his crew. Sarah's day brightened. She was kinder to each customer, her smile genuine now. The construction crew's mood lifted thanks to the unexpected treat. Arthur walked home feeling lighter. He hadn't solved the world's problems, just bought a cup of coffee for a stranger. But it felt good. He didn't know Sarah would be more patient with her brother that night, or that the crew would work with a little more cheer. All he knew was that he'd made one small ripple, and he decided to do it again tomorrow. Sometimes the smallest acts start the biggest changes. Arthur's kindness was already spreading. One cup of coffee, and the ripple had begun. That's how change starts, with one small, simple act. And Arthur was just getting started. Arthur's daily acts of kindness continued. Always small, always quiet. He noticed the bus stop near his house had no bench, so he built one from old wood in his garage. He wasn't a master carpenter, but he was patient. One night, he and a neighbor placed the bench at the stop. The next morning, people were amazed. No one knew who built it, but soon, neighbors sat together, talking instead of standing in silence. The bench became a place to connect. Later, Arthur found boxes of books from his librarian days. Instead of donating them, he built a little free library, a bright blue box at the edge of his garden. "Take a book, share a book," the sign read. At first, people hesitated, but soon, children and adults alike were exchanging stories. The little library became a landmark, a quiet point of connection. People stopped to chat with Arthur about books and life. He never claimed credit, just smiled and said, "Isn't it a wonderful thing?" With each act, Arthur planted seeds of kindness in his town. A bench, a box of books, simple things, but they brought people together. Arthur's quiet actions were rebuilding community, one small gesture at a time. He didn't need recognition. The joy was in seeing people connect. Kindness, he learned, grows best in small, everyday moments, and Maple Creek was beginning to bloom. People in Maple Creek started to notice. The bench, the little library, the free coffee. These small mysteries made people feel good and got them thinking. They saw Arthur, always smiling, always kind, and connected him to the growing warmth in town. The spark Arthur lit began to catch. The construction worker started a tool-lending library for neighbors. Sarah organized a study group for struggling classmates. The mother from the bus stop began a neighborhood watch, not for crime, but to check on elderly residents. Soon, a community potluck brought dozens together for the first time in years. People shared food, stories, and laughter. They were no longer strangers. They were becoming a community again. No speeches, no posters, just a chain reaction of kindness. One person inspired another and another. The town's atmosphere shifted. The air felt lighter, the silence between people comfortable. Tight-lipped nods became genuine smiles and waves. Maple Creek was waking up from its long, lonely sleep. Kindness was spreading, quietly but powerfully. The game became, who could do the next small good thing? The ripple was now a wave. And it all started with one man's quiet experiment. Maple Creek was changing, one act of kindness at a time. The spark had become a fire. Arthur's small ripples had grown into a wave of change. The local newspaper ran a story. The Maple Creek Mystery. Who was the secret angel of our town? The article talked about the bench, the library, and countless small acts of kindness. Inspired, the diner started a pay-it-forward board for meals. High schoolers formed the Ripple Effect Club, volunteering for neighbors and cleaning up the park. The community garden flourished. Vegetables donated to the diner. A mural appeared downtown, showing people helping each other. Maple Creek, once gray and anonymous, was now full of color and life. Arthur watched with a quiet, happy heart. He never claimed credit. He didn't need to. His goal was simple: add a little kindness to the world. What happened was more beautiful than any story he'd read. The wave had taken on a life of its own. Why does one small act of kindness create such a big wave? When we witness generosity, it lifts us up. Psychologists call it elevation. It's a feeling of hope and inspiration, making us want to join in. Kindness is a universal language. A smile, a helping hand, a simple, "I see you." In a world where many feel invisible, being seen is a profound gift. The ripple effect is simple. One act leads to another, and another. The person helped feels good and wants to help someone else. Even those who witness kindness are inspired to act. This isn't fantasy. It's human nature. We're wired for connection, influenced by those around us. In an environment of compassion, we become more compassionate. Arthur didn't change people. He changed the atmosphere. He created a space where kindness could grow, and the town blossomed. Years passed. Arthur grew older, but his kindness never faded. He remained a gentle presence in Maple Creek, never seeking the spotlight. When he passed away, the whole town felt the loss. At his funeral, people shared stories: the cup of coffee, the tool library, the bench. The mysteries of Maple Creek were finally solved. All the ripples led back to Arthur. He hadn't used money or power, just simple acts and a kind heart. His legacy wasn't a monument, but a living tradition. The town created Community Kindness Day on his birthday. Each year, everyone does one small, anonymous act of kindness. It's the perfect tribute. Arthur showed that the greatest legacy is a world a little kinder than before, and his kindness lives on in every ripple. Arthur's story isn't just a story, it's an invitation. The world's problems seem big, and we feel small. But change often starts with the smallest act. You don't have to build a bench or start a library. Your ripple can be anything. Letting someone go ahead in line, sending a kind text, or simply saying thank you. These acts cost nothing, but their impact is immeasurable. Think about your own life. Where can you start your ripple? Who needs to know they're seen and valued? You have the power to start a chain reaction. One small act can change your world, or someone else's. So, I challenge you, go out and start your own ripple, today, right now. Do something kind, just to do it. You may never see how far your ripple travels, but it will travel. Kindness is never wasted. It always finds its way. Thank you for joining us. Let's keep making life big, one small moment at a time.